You smell smoke before you see the fire. It clings to your clothes, stings the back of your throat, and makes your eyes water just enough to remind you that your body was not designed to enjoy this. Now imagine that same smell thousands of years before matches, before chimneys, before lighters, before anyone understood chemistry. You are sitting in the dark beside a fire because the fire is warmth, protection, cooked food, and the only wall between your small group and the night. The smoke drifts into your face. You cough. You move away. Then one evening, someone notices that the smoke from one plant feels different. Not just irritating, different. The mind shifts. The body relaxes. The night changes shape. And here's the question. When did humans stop accidentally breathing smoke and start choosing it? In this video, you're going to see why smoking is much older and stranger than the modern cigarette. We are not talking about a person outside an office taking a break. We are talking about fire, plants, ritual, medicine, memory, and the very human urge to reach beyond ordinary consciousness. Honestly, the deeper you look, the less smoking looks like a modern invention, and the more it looks like one of humanity's oldest experiments. And if you enjoy stories about ancient humans, survival, science, and the weird hidden history of everyday life, subscribe for more journeys into the brutal and fascinating story of being human. The first problem is simple. Smoke was everywhere. For most of human history, fire was not a luxury. It was survival equipment. It helped keep predators away. It made food safer. It warmed bodies that had no central heating, no insulated windows, no emergency shelter, and no weather app warning them that tonight was about to get ugly. Your ancestors did not gather around a fire for the aesthetic. They gathered there because stepping too far from it could mean freezing, starving, or becoming something else's dinner. But every fire came with a cost. Smoke got into the lungs, the hair, the skin, the sleeping space, the food, and probably every argument anyone ever had around camp. Archaeology gives us the first clue. Evidence from places such as Wonderwork Cave in South Africa suggests that early human relatives were using fire roughly 1 million years ago. That is long before cities, farms, writing, kings, wheels, or even our modern lifestyle problems. Strictly speaking, this does not prove anyone was smoking on purpose. But it does prove something important. For an unimaginably long time, humans and human relatives lived close to smoke. They breathed it again and again, not as a hobby, but as part of the atmosphere of survival. Fire was the original gathering place, and smoke was the original side effect. Then comes the strange part. Wood smoke is not just smoke. When different plants burn, they release different compounds. Some are irritating. Some are poisonous. Some smell sweet. Some repel insects. Some may affect mood, attention, pain, appetite, or perception. Ancient people did not need a laboratory to notice patterns. They had something slower and harsher, trial and error. Burn this plant, feel sick. Burn that plant, sleep better. Burn another plant, and suddenly the group gets quiet, focused, emotional, or strangely connected. That is not science in the modern sense, but it is observation. And for most of history, observation was how humans stayed alive. This is where we have to be careful. Scientists cannot point to one fossil and say, here's the first person who smoked. Smoke disappears. Leaves rot. Wooden pipes break down. Skin pouches, plant bundles, and woven containers almost never survive deep time. Stone tools can sit in the ground for hundreds of thousands of years. A dried leaf cannot. So the oldest evidence we have is almost certainly younger than the behavior itself. The ground does not preserve every human habit. It preserves whatever was lucky enough to resist time. Still, some clues survive. In North America, researchers found charred wild tobacco seeds in an ancient hearth in Utah, with associated material dated to about 12,300 years ago. That is not a modern smoking lounge. That is near the end of the Ice Age, when people were hunting, gathering, moving through difficult landscapes, and living by knowledge passed from mouth to ear. The seeds do not tell us exactly what happened. Maybe people chewed the plant. Maybe they smoked it. Maybe it had ritual meaning. But they do show that humans had a close relationship with tobacco far earlier than many people once assumed. And tobacco is only one part of the story. In the Pamir Mountains of Central Asia, archaeologists found evidence that cannabis was burned in wooden braziers during mortuary rituals about 2,500 years ago. Think about that scene for a second. This was not someone bored on a Tuesday night. This was smoke connected to death, memory, ceremony, and the invisible world. The plant was burned in a context that suggests meaning. The smoke was not random. It was part of an experience people created together. That may be the real key. Smoking, in its oldest forms, may not have been about private pleasure. It may have been social technology. A group sits close together. The air changes. Breathing slows. Attention narrows. People feel fear, grief, relief, awe, or trust at the same time. In a world with no written contracts, no police, no hospitals, and no therapy appointments, shared rituals mattered. They helped groups bond. They helped people process death. They turned dangerous knowledge into memory. You see, ancient humans did not just survive with tools. They survived with shared meaning. There may also have been a medical side. Long before modern pharmacology, people learned that plants could do things to the body. Some reduced pain. Some made people sleepy. Some cleared the nose. Some calmed the stomach. Some were dangerous unless used carefully. Inhaling smoke or vapor seems strange to us because modern people know the damage smoke can cause. But from an ancient point of view, the logic was not completely ridiculous. If a smell, vapor, or burning herb reached the chest quickly, and if someone felt relief afterward, that pattern mattered. No antibiotics, no pharmacy, no doctor on call. Just plants, fire, memory, and a very high-stakes learning curve. Of course, this is where the story becomes uncomfortable. The ancient use of smoke and the modern cigarette are not the same thing. One belongs to small groups, rituals, medicine, and controlled moments. The other became an industrial product designed for repetition, convenience, profit, and addiction. That shift is massive. A plant used carefully in a ceremony is one thing. A product engineered to be consumed again and again on a daily basis is something else entirely. Same basic element, smoke. Completely different world around it. So when did ancient humans start smoking? The honest answer is, we do not know exactly. The direct evidence reaches back thousands of years, and the relationship between humans, fire, and plant smoke may reach much further. The oldest moment is probably gone forever, scattered into ash, breath, and memory. But the bigger truth is still visible. Humans noticed that the natural world could change the inner world. A burning plant could alter fear, pain, grief, hunger, or imagination. And once humans noticed that, they remembered. That is what makes this story so human. Not the smoke itself. The noticing. The ability to connect one evening with the next. The ability to say, without writing anything down, last time we burned that plant, something happened. That tiny act of memory is civilization before civilization. It is science before science. It is ritual before temples. It is medicine before hospitals. And it happened around a fire, in the dark, among people who had almost nothing compared with you, but who were already doing the most human thing of all, experimenting with the world, trying to understand themselves, and passing the discovery forward. So the next time you smell wood smoke on a cold night, remember that you are touching something ancient, not just fire, not just air. A chain of human attention that stretches back beyond names, beyond writing, beyond history as we usually imagine it. Somewhere, long before the modern world, someone sat beside a flame, breathed in, felt the night change, and wondered what had just happened. That question did not disappear. It became ritual. It became medicine. It became habit. It became warning. And in a strange way, it became another reminder that civilization did not begin when humans built walls. It began when humans noticed patterns in the dark and decided they were worth remembering.